This is a really simple thing to do. Most people just can't deal with the fact that this money is available.
Yeah.
And therefore this seems like, but why? Why can't I just spend it?
That goes back to the financial thermostat you've talked about as well.
Of course, yeah.
So we've just got to the lounge, waiting for Ibby, see where Gassari is. So he took a flight from Manchester, but then I think a couple of his flights got cancelled. So he's here a little bit on the later side, but I mean we've still got 3 hours, so he should be here soon. Locate Mr. Gassari. Let's see what the lounge has in store for us. What we got? Chicken, fish pie, braised short rib. Had this before. Truffle oil. Thank you very much. So just heard word from Ibby, he should be here in about 10 minutes. Then we're just gonna start planning everything, getting everything ready, go over the stuff that we're gonna be talking about with the mastermind, which is gonna be wicked. Round 2 of the Wealth Creation Mastermind. It's crazy to think it's been a year since we've been there. And we're gonna be in Dubai this time for about 8-9 days. So we've got the Wealth Creation Mastermind, we have the Funded Traders Yacht Party, we have Aura Sky, we've got a few other things as well. We've got a Dinner Mastermind planned at Royal Atlantis. Yeah, we've got a lot cooking on this trip. And we're going to be covering some really big things, going over the roadmap for funding. Got big plans for funding 2025. We've done so much this year anyway, actually achieved so much in 2024 when it comes to our funding. But I think next year is where we take that to a whole other level, because it's the compound effect, isn't it? You start slow, you build the right foundations, and suddenly it goes really quick. Okay, we're in the same spot that we sat last year. Do you remember?
No, I do.
Marhaba.
Good man.
Kivak.
Keep on.
Ibby, how's your flight? So talk us through what happened.
From England.
Yeah, so what happened from England to England?
That was the scariest flight I've ever been on in my life.
So how long was it?
35 minutes.
Yeah, you traumatised now.
They can't, British Airways cannot fly planes.
Well, good thing we're doing Emirates, so
Yeah, no,
we're
man.
good.
You know them small planes? The turbulence is mad.
This is Ibby's first time out of the UK. So a Fanta Light, please, bro.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, that is. What we got?
What's that in the middle?
I think it's orange. Orange.
So you know someone passed this month, within 2 weeks lost it. Right?
2 weeks.
Within 2 weeks. I'm looking at the trades, terrible trades. Literally, does not make any sense. Loss after loss after loss. If we looked into the trades, I looked into them, there was nothing there. It's almost like they felt like they didn't deserve the account. They just wanted to give it away.
That pisses me off. What do I always tell them? I've even got it in the video. When you become a portfolio asset manager, you smoke 100% for the first 30 days. That is there for a reason. No one is immune to this. You get excited. You need to protect yourself against yourself. Now, that to me is self-sabotage. You can't work that hard for, let's say, 4 months, get to that level, and then within 2 weeks, yeah. That's all, to me, that's harder to do. That shows pure self-sabotage.
But it wasn't just a risk, it was trash trades. And here's the thing as well, this person has not rewired.
Hasn't got
It hasn't. It's not a coincidence. You know, because psychologically a lot of people, they get large amounts of money, because for these people that's a lot of money, blow it away.
So you can't actually make that up, because I didn't know that they don't have rewired.
Exactly.
I know we say that a lot as if it's like it's the stat is the stat.
Yeah.
You can't hide from it. The people that are naturally going through something like rewired have a better frame of mind. They're less likely to lose their money. And no coincidence, a person becomes a portfolio asset manager, takes 3-4 months to get it, and in 2 weeks fucks it all up. See, that pisses me off, because all the hard work, it messes with the stats, and that's the side that I think people don't see. But that's all the work you put in just to see someone just mess it up over 2 weeks. But that's annoying.
You know, it's more annoying than solving something stupid.
Yeah.
It's not a skill issue, it's a listening issue.
Yeah.
That's when it's annoying. Playing about on the iPad.
Nice.
So you can literally like tap this and then it's like literally like a pen. Like look, if I do it at that angle, see how thick it is, and then do it there, it's thin.
Draw a candlestick.
A candlestick?
Yeah.
Like
Go on.
ready.
Like if you was a real trader, you'd be able to draw.
Little wick. Standard wick. You want a little high test?
Yeah.
I'll give you a low test. Cheeky there.
Low test? I haven't got low test, I've got high test. basically what happens is, so you can be ready for it.
Yeah.
As soon as the mini bar goes live and we get set up, you get the same. It's like I'm going to build a starter pack. They run to the front and then they start putting the breadsticks out, and they're just like there with their socks on. And they're just like, with the socks on. Oh my god, cracks me up. They love it though. So I've got Kiwi yen as well. This is mine. So I've got Euro CAD, pound yen, pound dollar, Kiwi yen, CAD yen, and Aussie dollar.
You took HK 50 off?
Yeah, just too much on watch. I prefer JP225.
Good point.
Like as JP225. Do you know what's brilliant about JP225? Look at this. So in that run, to fill that gap, if that's selling off, Japanese yen is powering up. Because money's going out of the Japanese stock market into the currency itself. So if you take something like a pound yen, but this is why I was saying that trade right there, that's why I was saying that this is not a usual structure that would move higher when you've got that associated with it.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've already had that, I mean, if you go to, let's say, weekly on it, weekly is super bearish. Like look at the profile of that on the weekly. Like all of these are bearish. If you look at something like Kiwi yen, it's bearish. So do you know what I love about Kiwi yen? Even though they're on the lower time frames, there's the trade in there, but it's like on the 15 minute, 1 hour. It looks like it's poorly positioned, but only poorly positioned of the smaller range.
Yeah.
But the bigger picture is, look at how bearish all of that has been for a long period of time. And now if I just delete that so you can see it for what it is.
You're showing a complete failure to move higher.
Yeah, look at that. Weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
So these are my favourites, but only because of the positioning of the JP225.
It's an interesting filter. Do you reckon people use JP225 as a filter?
Nah, I doubt it. They might use the DXY possibly, but I doubt it.
Even shockingly, the people didn't even use the DXY until recently.
I know that one is strange, especially if you trade USD based instruments.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome on board, and Mr. Hutchinson, welcome back to Emirates. Going second right, the window seat for you.
Perfect,
Thank you.
So I'm here, and then Ibby thought he was a million miles away, but he's right here. What do you think of the plane, Ibby? So on the flight now, it was a little bit delayed, but nothing crazy. Got some journaling to do. So I thought I was on a complete different side to Ibby. Here I am right here, and here he is, Mr. Gassari.
So what's the difference with first?
First,
Yeah.
bigger seat, bigger screen.
It's shots now.
It's just more privacy. It depends. If I'm travelling alone, first, 100%. But if you're travelling with people, business is wicked. Singapore Airlines. I've never been on Singapore Airlines.
They've got something above first.
Yes, they actually had to have something like that as well. Yeah, as far as business class goes, there are so many airlines, but Emirates are just phenomenal. Like if you go Virgin, for example, Virgin's like, it can be super crowded, like crap. Emirates as well. Found him located Gassari.
This is the part that people don't understand. Traders need to prioritize this. Really simple. So think of your trading as 3 sections. P for your personal capital. We'll put P again for your prop capital. I for investor capital. So think about what it serves. The goal should be to have 100k personal account.
Yeah.
People don't realize that they prioritize this prop capital without even a thought of this, that this feeds into that. And then with your investor capital, you've got, so he's trying to solve the equation.
You can't do it.
Right? Can't do it, can't work it out. So you've got your investor capital. This is more of like, I would say 1-to-1.
Yeah.
You could have more of a contract, right? More of a contractual agreement. That serves a very different purpose. Where if you're not thinking about the bigger picture, you'll obsess over this part here, and then you'll go from trading capital to not trading capital. And then what happens? People increase their lifestyle too quickly because they've not recognized that it's all a formula. Like, even think about making money long term. When I feel like a DJ, right? Just doing this. When you're making money long term, you have to have ratios in place. So if you go from someone who's making, say, 2K a month to then 5K per month, and you now have plus 3K disposable, what happens with that 3K? This is where ratios have to come into place. Most people can't handle when they've got that extra money, so they don't know what to do with it. That's why a plan needs to be in place.
So what's the right ratio to have to start with if you've got that 3K disposable?
Well, there's not a right ratio to start with. There is the best that you can do, because it should always be decreasing. For example, let's say you make 2K per month. If you make 2K per month, your outgoings might be 1,800. Not really much you can do with that. So you couldn't prioritize the best ratio. So you just work with what you've got, and the best thing you can do is create a column like this. This would be your non-essentials. So this is essentially all the things that are not even that important in your bank statements, and these are your essential things that you use that you know, oh, that would contribute towards me being a better trader, better person, whatever. So you get rid of that, and then you try and fix that, because your outgoings might be 1,800. You might even fix it to 1,400. Like, oh, I'm a bit wealthier than what I thought. So you fix that first, and then the goal should eventually be to get to a point in which that you're then 50-50. So it's just to work lower. There's not a magical ratio. In an ideal world, your lifestyle would be dealt with 20%.
Yeah, because you've always said aim towards 50 to 20%.
Exactly.
Right.
So if, again, let's say you was earning 10K per month, your lifestyle should be, and we can actually do it on that, which should be really good. Let's say you scale up, you've got prop capital. It's not hard to make 10K a month. If you've got even just 400K capital, which is not massive in our trading space, 10K a month is not massive. So let's say after splits, you got your 10K, etc. You're making 10K per month. They're all over the shop over there. But they need rewired, right? They need composure. So let's say you're making 10K per month. If we're going to go by the 20% ratio, that's 2K per month.
As in, that's just your lifestyle spending money.
Yeah, that's just like your essential goods that are needed, your rent, etc. Like all of that type of stuff. Try to put as much of your outgoings in it. Like, if you could put all of them within 20%, that would be perfect.
So this isn't spending money, it's essentials money.
Yeah, essentials money, right? You keep that there. 10%, right? So we'll go a little bit higher. 10% of that can be just luxuries.
Right.
Because if you can keep a 70-30 split, it's really hard for you to mess up. Problem is, people go through drawdown, you're not going to get exactly 10K every single month. So what happens is, when you think, well, that seems a little bit low to only spend 3K out of 10, why can't I spend 5 and still half? But what happens if, let's say, Jan, Feb, like that, you made 10, and then it was a 5K month, right? And then this was 1, because pretty much break even. You start to see, and that's a very real quarter for a trader. They've still been profitable. They've still made 17K for the month. Well, 16K, right? So they still made 16K for the quarter. But at the end of the day, that's massively gone down. So imagine your outgoings were 5 then. So you're like, okay, you have 5K left over. 5, 0, minus 4.
You're down.
So you see how it fucks you up.
And that's not accounting for emergencies.
Exactly. So the real key is, how can you control the urge to spend money when you level up your monthly income, when the cash flow starts coming in? How can you still go, I know I'm making 10K per month, but let me just spend 3. And if you just went 3, 3, 3, 3 all the way through, right, 3, 12, 36. So 36K should be what you're actually spending for the year. Now you could round that up, probably plus 4 to that. You got your 40K for the year, but what are you actually bringing in? 120.
I see,
That is how you should live. This is a really simple thing to do. Most people just can't deal with the fact that this money is available, and therefore this seems like, but why? Why can't I just spend it?
That goes back to the financial thermostat you're talking about as well.
Of course, it's kind of linked in the opposite. It's like the financial thermostat is is the self-sabotage part. So let's say, for example, you go from making 2K a month to 3K a month. If you haven't changed your self-image or how you see yourself, you'll just find ways to spend that extra $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's like I could do with the new jumper, do with the new this, book a trip here. You'll always find it just creeps back to that same default figure. Higher levels of self-sabotage is when you actually start to make a decent amount more money because you're skilled enough to do it. But then you can't help yourself because you've not come from money, you've never experienced it. So your natural instinct is to go, but I can afford it now, so why can't I just spend it? But the smart, wise people go, I know I can, but just because I can doesn't mean that I should.
So in that case then, circling back, for the average person, let's say like working a normal job, earning 1.5, 2K a month, the average salary in the UK, they've got very little disposable or very little savings. What's the right order for them to go in terms of prop, investor, and personal capital? The most safe order, basically.
So the safest, the most accessible, safest order is building the right habits because you want to attract the one over here, which is the investor, right, for the long term. The prop is going to be your, call it leverage, because that's what's going to get you to build this personal capital. This is your personal capital right here. Really and truly, you actually prioritize this. And although that might seem counterintuitive, because I don't encourage people to obsess over prop firms. It's the thing that's going to give you the leverage to build that in the first place.
And you'll build a track record.
Exactly, because you can only save so much. Like, there's only so much money you can save of your income. Which at the beginning, this is not as important because the new way of you making money now, this is the new way. So that means you can get ahead a lot quicker. So prioritizing a personal account, you might build some good habits, and there's nothing wrong with depositing a regular small amount, but not at the cost of, like, if I trust my ability and I trust my skill, and I've proven to myself I'm actually a fairly decent trader, if I'm looking to then take funding assessments that are like, 100 quid, 200 quid, 300 quid, depending on which one you go, what's that 100 quid going to do? I could save £100 a month for a whole year and still only be left with 1200.
Exactly.
Where this part of the prop, that can catapult me to higher heights that I will never get. I can only save so much. That's the problem with saving. You can't save your way to be wealthy.
So this formula is only working assuming that you've already got the skill. People think they
course.
can try and build the skill first.
Of course.
Get the prop account first without building the skill.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So Louis actually asked this question in the webinar about how do you differentiate between logic and desire, right? Utilizing, if you're a Rewired member, how would you do that, A simple answer I'll give before you give yours is that you can't just do it off the bat. I don't believe anyone can. I think if you come from a background where you've got poor emotional environment, you've not worked on your mind, that you're gonna have to build that muscle to do that. Like in the moment say, right, this is not logical for me to do, this is a desire-based decision. For example, if you're looking at a trade and you know that you're looking to get involved in it because you got the bigger money for the first time and you know you can make 15, 20K and you know that what's driving that decision is desire. It's not logic. What's your experience on that?
Well, I'll give you the fix for it. The fix is just to get around the right people.
Okay.
It's the shortest way to get the most effective answer. So the amount of times people have asked me questions based around a situation like that and say, Mark, just want to pick your brains, what do you think? I can look at it from a completely different perspective. Someone who has come from nothing to not having money, to having money, to having those emotions and desires of like, is this logical, is this emotional? I've gone through that like 1,000 times. So I can look at it from my perspective and go, that's an emotional decision. I'm not going to be right 100% of the time, but 98% of the time, anyone who's made it out into the other side will be able to give that advice because they've got the experience, they know what it looks like, they've been through the jungle, they get it.
There you go, familiarity.
So we just finished up quite a lot of work. I think we've got a couple of hours left of the flight, so it wouldn't be a flight if I didn't go back and watch The Godfather. I was looking for the Bronx Town. It's not on there.
Really?
The Bronx Town.
The Bronx Town?
Yeah, it's not on there.
It's called A Bronx Town.
A Bronx Town, yeah, it's not on there. There is the Untouchables, Usual Suspects, Goodfellas, Godfather. There's a few others, so yeah, I'm gonna go watch a gangster movie.
Have you tried searching?
Public Enemies. No, I haven't searched it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see if they've got a Bronx Town.
Definitely have that.
Yeah, so we're going to do that, and then we'll be in Dubai, and yeah, we're going to have a busy time. I'll try and film as much as I can behind the scenes, things that are value, things that are practical, but it's going to be incredible. What a strong end to the year is going to be.